Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah Beth and today we're going to be doing a much overdue book haul. Okay, no joke, I think I have filmed this twice since Christmas. I think my last book haul was Bookmas, and I don't tend to buy a lot of books. I do, however, get sent a lot of book mail. So I like to do book hauls just to like show you guys upcoming releases and just show you what I might be interested in. But because it has been so long, I have bought more books than normal. Like, let me look at the stack of books I've bought. I've bought like 14 books, but I think I've been gifted almost twice that. We are gonna go through all the books. Let's first go through the ones that we'll do something fun. I'll show you 4 books I got, but I already had copies of them, and I got them because, well, one I didn't have a copy of. Regardless, let me show you 4 that I've already read, and then we're gonna go through ones that have been sent to me. I'm also a little stuffy, so just kind of ignore that. So sorry. Our whole house is ill, and we have been for more than a week now, so it's going great. But the reason I have filmed this multiple times and you haven't seen it is because I film it and then I forget that it's in like all my video clips that I store, and then too much time goes by and then I'm like, oh no, I should have edited that, and then I think to myself, I should just film it again. So there definitely might be books missing from this haul, but if they are, I've probably talked about them on my channel by either reading them or showing them to you in different vlogs. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm gonna show you 4 that I got that I've already read, sort of. So the first one is this UK cover of Remarkably Bright Creatures. This is leaps and bounds cuter than the US cover in my opinion. I also feel like it is a better representation of the vibe of this book. If you've thought to yourself, why are people wanting me to read a book where an octopus talks? He doesn't talk, you just are like you're just in his mind for parts of the story. And I love Marcellus the Octopus. I think this is like a fabulous book club pick. I kind of been thinking about doing a video of like books that I think would be great for book club, because I feel like a lot of people fall into the trap of just picking popular books or even just romance books, and then they're not great for discussion, which is totally fine because you get to hang out with your friends. But I do sometimes just want to talk about a book with people, and this is one that I wish I had people to talk about it with. But also, if you have read this, you should know that I am fully convinced that my husband is Marcellus the Octopus. That Marcellus the Octopus is based on my husband. But I love this. Go into this just knowing that it is a story where a bunch of people are connected and it's sad and heartwarming, and you'll really like it. I think summertime's a good time to read it too. It's set in an aquarium, so it's just kind of fun and summery. But so I had the US edition of that, and I needed the UK cover because it was cuter. Now this book I do not have a copy of because I read an advanced copy, is The Minuscule Mansion of Mira Malone. If you have been here since the beginning or you've watched all my videos, this I talked about so much last year. I read it, I think, in like March of last year. It is one of my favorite books, and this is what got me, I think, into magical realism. I love magical realism. It's probably my favorite genre. Honestly, I feel like all the magical realism books I read are like 5 stars, and maybe that's just because I'm getting good at picking them, but I can't say there's another genre where I feel like almost every book I read in that genre is a 5-star read. But I love this. This is a girl, I'm not gonna tell you about all these books because that would take way too long, but this book is about a girl who has this dollhouse, but she doesn't let people call it a dollhouse. It's this minuscule mansion that her sort of grandmother gave her, and her friend convinces her to make like an Instagram for it because she's always decorating it, doing all this stuff. And then it gets really popular, and this guy who owns like this antique thrift store, these people are coming in and the girl's talking about how she wants it to be mansion-esque, the furniture they're looking for. And then the guy's like, what are you talking about? And she shows him the Instagram and he's like, I'm so confused. This is a miniature version of my house down to the furniture. And I know that sounds spooky, but it's not, because neither of them know the other one. Like there's no like creepy stalker ghost like thing happening. They're just like magically connected. But I love this, and I never, ever see people talking about it. And this author, Audrey Burgess, I'm definitely not saying her last name right. She just came out with a new book, which is called House Like an Accordion, and I look for it every time I'm out. I just need to order it on Amazon because I want to read it right now. I should have had it in my hands the day it came out because I loved this, and I cannot wait to read the other one. This one doesn't need any explanation. I have all the other original covers of Magnolia Park, so clearly I had to get the one for Into the Dark. If you don't know what Magnolia Parks is, British Gossip Girl. Also, I have to tell you, I think that's my first time picking up this book, and it is heavy. Like, this is thick. The other version, not that thick. Oh my gosh. If you know, you know. Anyways, had to get that. And then the last one, I am on book 2 in this series, but I really wanted the hardcovers of the UK editions, and this was the only one still like in stock organically, so I went ahead and got it, even though I have the US edition. But I have the other 2 books in paperback in the UK cover, but this is in the Once Upon a Broken Heart cover, or Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I just think these covers are way more of a better representation of what the series is like. It's very whimsical, fantasy, fairy tale vibes. I just love this. I don't understand why these are not the US covers, but so that is that for those. I'm going to have to put them back in the box now. If you can't tell, my shelves are a little bare. We are moving sometime in the next like couple months. I'm not gonna say when. I may do like some sort of moving vlog. I'm also thinking about doing just some vlogs in general. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. I know a lot of people are interested in seeing my other little hobbies that I do, because I wouldn't call myself a hobby collector, but I guess I sort of am. I'm not one of those people that abandons all my hobbies though. Like, I just do a lot of side quests in my life. I just love doing things. If there's one thing about me, you certainly can't say that I'm bored. I always have stuff to be doing. Let's go through ones that were sent to me. There are a lot of them. So we'll start off with this one. I was sent a whole trilogy, and the first book is Lord of the Fading Lands. I'm not gonna lie to you, I vibe with these covers, but this is a fantasy series. Ooh, it's a fae fantasy series. I don't know very much about it, but I'm really excited. Oh, there's 2 more after these. I just got the first 3. There are 5, I think, but they sent me the first 3. I definitely thought this was a trilogy at first, so I'm glad that I looked on the back and there's 5. So I got sent those. And again, like, a lot of these are arcs or books that were sent to me a while ago, because I really don't think I filmed a haul since December, and so I was trying to grab all the ones that I think hadn't made any sort of appearance on my channel. Also, again, sorry I'm stuffy. This one I was really excited when it came, and I'm sad I haven't read it, is Lore of the Wilds. It's an abandoned library with a deadly enchantment, a fae lord who will do anything to get in, a brave human woman, a collector of stories willing to risk it all for a taste of knowledge and power. I just think, oh, there's a bookmark in it. Sometimes they surprise me. I just think this one, I mean, the cover is literally so beautiful, but this is probably gonna be one I read in the fall. Let's just go through all the fantasy ones I've been sent. Hold on. Let's do some rearranging real quick. Oh my gosh, I see one that I'm really excited about. Okay, I think I've already talked about this, but it had to make it into this video. This is Compass Points. This book is a fantasy book with, like, you know, realms or whatever, or courts, I guess, and they're based off of national parks, which I just think is so cool. Like, a romantic fantasy with a world inspired by the United States national parks. Fans of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies will love this enchanting new fantasy series with enemies to lovers, fake dating, and elemental magic. I am just so excited to read this because my husband and I are trying to go to all the national parks. I love the national parks, and so I think this is so fun and different. Like, I've not seen a fantasy series that's like this. Hearts of Fire and Snow. I'm pretty sure this is a fantasy, but am I right? Debatable. This says she wants to make a difference in the world more than her wealthy godfather and spoiled boyfriend thinks she's capable of. Greg Chan shows up as a new student at her Nevada school. She's more intrigued by this handsome, brilliant stranger. They're drawn to each other by something stronger. Their fates entwined centuries ago. In his first life, Greg was Captain Popacoa, maybe, and Blanca is the reincarnation of Princess Iztak. I'm definitely saying these wrong. And Greg has spent 1,000 years searching for his lost love, and now the fates have given them one more chance. Will their hearts finally beat as one? It says, perfect for fans of these violent delights and this poison heart. I love these violent delights. So that is this one. The cover is so cool because it's like stained glass. Love that. And so I'm very interested. It also feels kind of summery with like the Aztec vibes. Okay, this one I was super excited to get. My Dark Beast. This is the same author as House of Beating Wings, which I've been listening to those books on audio. So I've listened to the first one. I'm like halfway through the second one. I don't know why I grabbed this during the fantasy series section because I don't think this is fantasy, but we'll keep going. This girl is a 24 college graduate who's addicted to true crime podcasts and a florist. No, it says enter a world of... Okay. Enter a world of gods and monsters where dreams are made of flesh. My Dark Beast is a paranormal romance standalone brimming with spice and intrigue. So we'll see how I feel about this one. Might be a fun one to put on your radar. I'm intrigued to say the least. And I love when pages have things like this. Little like headers. I don't think that's technically fantasy. It said paranormal romance, but you know, we'll just keep it there for now. Okay, these are thrillers. I'm just moving stuff around down here. You can't see. Oh goodness. I get mailed a lot of romance most of the time. Like I feel like I mostly get romance books in the mail. I also have When Among Crows. This is the smallest thing I've ever seen in my life. When Among Crows is swift and striking, drawing from the deep well of Slavic folklore and asking if redemption and atonement can be found in embracing what we most fear. Step into a city where monsters feast on human emotions, knights split their souls to make their weapons, and witches always take more than they can give. I mean, this literally has 160 pages. So I'm hoping to get to this soon. Also, I do love the cover. I need to Google it because I know I've read something by this author and I feel like I'm gonna feel really dumb when... Yep, okay, so this is the same author as Divergent. I know this name and I don't know why. So I'm really excited to see this one. I think this is the last fantasy that got sent to me, is Compass and Blade, which has a blurb by Adrienne Young on the front, and I love her. Her books are some of my faves. This world of sea and storm runs deep with bargains and blood. So I am eager to read this one. Also, I feel like it's a good summery fantasy because anything set on the sea, I just feel like that's, you want me to read it in the summer. I get it. You want me to watch Pirates of the Caribbean after I read your book. I understand. So I think that's it for the fantasy books I've been sent. Let's do mysteries, maybe. The first one is one I got, this one that I'm about to show you is one I got really recently and I was like, wait, I'm sorry, I love this. It's called Errands and Espionage. I feel like this was sent to me because I'm a mother, but do I want to read it? 100%. But basically this mom, the FBI comes and asks her to essentially impersonate this FBI agent that was recently killed because they look basically identical. And that is all I want to know about it, but it's giving me Finley Donovan vibes. This is not out until August 6th, but I will read it and let you guys know what I think because I'm so excited. And also, like, just look at that cover. It's so cute. New Alex Finley. If something happens to me, I'm really interested in this one. I don't really want to know what goes on. I've been going into my thriller mysteries really blind lately, and I think that's been really fun. All I know is that this guy had something terrible happen, I think like a car accident when he was maybe in high school, and it's been long since forgotten, and now things are happening that are bringing it back up and wants to figure it out maybe? I don't know. But I'm really excited for it, so we'll see. We have End of Story by AJ Finn. I think this one says, for fans of Knives Out comes a spellbinding thriller from the bestseller of The Woman in the Window. Oh, I'll be dead in 3 months, come tell my story, writes Sebastian Trapp, a reclusive mystery novelist, to his longtime correspondent Nikki Hunter, an expert in detective fiction. Okay, wait. That sounds really good. I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds so fun. Do I want to read? Every time I do a video like this, I just want to read all the books that I have now told you about. Bless Your Heart. It's 1999 in Southeast Texas, and 4 generations of Evans women, owners of the only funeral parlor in town, are keeping steady with normal business. The dead die, you bury them, end of story. But something is stirring. It's been 15 years since that god-awful mess that left 2 bodies in the ground, and things are about to get a whole lot messier. This is one, I don't know if it's just the vampire, but I'm saving this one, I think, for fall. I'm really interested. The last time I tried to read like not a contemporary vampire book, but I tried to read, what's it called? The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, Southern Woman's Guide to Slaying Vampires, whatever that book is. I tried to read that one a while ago, and I was not vibing with it, but I might vibe with it now. So then we have A Talent for Murder. A newlywed librarian begins to suspect the man she married is a murderer in this spectacular, twisty, and deviously clever novel. Well, that would be really upsetting. This one seems pretty thin, too. Which, like, sometimes that's just what you need. Oh, it's like $2.50, maybe, max. Yeah, like $2.48. So Also, I think this cover looks really fun. Very interested in that one. I have one historical fiction that was sent to me, and that is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I do not feel like you need anyone to tell you about this book, but all I know is that it is about women and the Vietnam War, and people have said it's basically heartbreaking and that that's one of their favorite books that they read this year. So I'm very, very excited to read this, but my Kristen Hanna pile is enormous. I need to read more of her books so that I have less on the TBR. I also recently got sent The Collected Regrets of Clover. This girl's a death doula, and one of her patients basically ends up sending her on a road trip to uncover a forgotten love story. And it hopefully is to help find her, for her to find like happiness in her life, because all she does is, you know, hang out with people right before they die. So this one sounds like one that's gonna be sad, so I don't know if I'll get to it this summer because I would like to not be sad. Plays well with others. Can we just take a second for this cover? Because I mean, I feel like it's just absolutely a vibe. But this is a wickedly funny and incisive debut novel following a mother trapped in the rat race of modern parenting as her life unravels. Apparently, she commits a ghastly social faux pas that goes viral. She's forced to confront a single question: is she really any better than the cutthroat preschool parents she's always judged? It's an epistolary novel incorporating emails, group text, advice columns, newspaper profiles, and more. Okay, so I think the only pile left now of ones that have been sent to me are romance. And we'll go pretty quick. I know a couple of these I think you guys have seen me talk about, so a little repetitive, but I don't know if I've talked about them in a haul. Maybe I have, I'm not sure. In a Not So Perfect World, this was on, is this on my TBR this month or was it on my TBR last month? I think it was on my TBR last month, but it's like a fake dating thing, and this girl's not supposed to have a boyfriend because of her job, because she's a video game developer, but it's set on an island. It gives kind of like the Unhoneymooners setting. They go on a trip. I think they pretend to be together. I'm very curious because of the video game aspect of it. And then The First Down, I think you guys have probably seen this around. This is tutoring the star quarterback in exchange for a few fake dates won't lead to anything more, right? So, standard sports romance with fake dating. I also was sent this new Christina Lauren book, which I think is in like a set of, not interconnected, but like it's a series and each one is by a different author, and I don't think they're necessarily connected. It says it's a meant to be novel. Yeah, so like there's one by Julie Murphy, one by Jasmine Guillory, and one by, I'm never gonna say her name right, Zoraida Cordova, maybe? I felle bad I'm saying it wrong, but I think each one is based on a princess. So this one's Rapunzel. The other ones have been Cinderella, I think Belle, and then Ariel. So I really am excited for this. Rapunzel is probably my favorite Disney princess, other than Belle for obvious reasons. One Last Summer. Funny thing about this book is this actually got mailed to our old address, which is we have not lived in since last June, and I was going through town on my way to the beach last week, and I managed to go pick it up from them, but I don't know why that happened. It's very strange. It hasn't happened the whole time we've been gone, so I'm not sure. This summer romance asks, what do you do when the life you planned isn't what you've dreamed? Ooh, is it at a, oh, it's set at a camp. Ooh, that's pretty fun. Okay, it's set at a camp, which really, that speaks to me, I won't lie. I read another book by Kate Spencer and I didn't really like it. In a New York Minute, so this would be me giving her a second chance, and I think I'm willing to, but I did not like that book. Simply the Best. This says, take one hard-driven sports agent, throw in a failed chocolatier, her superstar football player boyfriend, and add a quirky pink and purple food truck. Then to really screw things up, mix in an unfortunate murder. I am more confused and bewildered about this book than I was when I looked at it. At first I thought it was lit fic, and then I thought it was a romance, but now that there's murder, I simply don't know. I'm so troubled by... We'll see what that one's about one day, folks. One last shot. If you guys have ever seen that girl that does the TikTok, she like started it. I think her account's Betty's Book List. She started the whole like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend and I went out to dinner the other day and he dropped dead and fell into his plate of soup, and now they're thinking I did it, so what am I supposed to do? And then she's like, if that sounds interesting to you, read this book. She started those videos, and now this is her book, One Last Shot, and I think it's a second chance romance. she's maybe a model. Yep, she's a model and he's a fashion photographer, and they are reconnected as adults. I'm curious to see if it's good. The font is very weird to me. I don't know what kind of font that is, but it troubles me. I'll tell you that much. Adam and Evie's matchmaking tour. I love this cover. I don't know if it's the colors, if it's the art style, but I love it. It says, a rollicking, unforgettable romance about two strangers finding love despite their best efforts as they embark on a sweeping matchmaking tour through Vietnam, perfect for readers of Carly Fortune and Abby Jimenez. I want to read this truly because I just think the cover is so pretty. Look at it. Look at it. It's the colors, I think, and the art style. We also have Ne'er Dukewell, which is, of course, a Regency romance. She's determined to find him the perfect wife. The only problem is she's starting to think that that might be her. It's giving Anthony in the Boat from Bridgerton season 2, but I love Regency romances, especially like in the springtime. I know it's summer now, but I do love a good Regency romance in the spring. And then we have Rules for Second Chances. Spoiler alert. It's a second chance romance, I think set in like the mountain. Not 100% confident in that, but based on the cover, that's what I would say. It honestly kind of looks like Banff, Canada. If you've been there or seen photos of it, it's that like crystal blue lake. It's kind of what it's giving me. It also looks like they're cold, so we might be saving that for the winter. Okay, I'm gonna go get a new camera battery, but that is it for books that have been sent to me. Now I have a tiny little pile of books my husband's bought me / have been gifted to me. I'm back. So now I have 4 books. 3 were bought by my husband, 1 was given to me by a friend. This is The Dixon Rule. It is the second book in the Campus Diaries series, which is another spin-off from the Off-Campus series. First book followed Gigi Graham, who's Garrett Graham and Hannah's daughter. This is The Dixon Rule, and it follows Diana Dixon and Shane Lindley. And maybe it's my sick brain, but I cannot remember whose last name is Dixon, so maybe this isn't another child from the other series, but that is this one, and I'm excited because it's like set during the summer, unlike other hockey romances. Another one my husband got me is Fable by Adrienne Young. I need to read Fable, and I think it's Namesake, but I got this one specifically because I love pirate books, especially in the summer, and I've heard really good things about this one, and like I said, I really love Adrienne Young's writing, so I'm very excited, and I love that when you put the covers of the 2 books together, it makes the full face. So he was sweet. And then the last book he got me is Nosy Neighbors, which like the cover is so fun. This is giving me Only Murders in the Building vibes. This is a 70-year-old and a 25-year-old. When their apartment is being faced with demolition, they agree on just one thing: they must save their historic building. And then it says, when someone plays dirty and one of the residents is viciously taken down, Dorothy and Kat seek justice. The police close the investigation too soon, leaving it up to unlikely amateur sleuths to restore peace in their community. So I just feel like this is gonna be a fun little silly book. And then my friend Heather got me The Golden Spoon. I think she got me this for my birthday, unless she just randomly sent me a book. But I'm like 95% sure it was my birthday, but it feels like this just came like a week ago, and my birthday was months ago. Time is but a construct. But this is supposed to be so fun for people who love it is so reflective. You're just... for people who love the Great British Baking Show, because someone turns up dead on the set of TV's hottest baking competition, and the contestants must band together in search of the killer before one of them is the next elimination. And it seems really short, 260 pages, but I just think this sounds really fun, and I haven't seen people talking about it, and I am so excited. Like the cover even says, this delicious combination of Clue and the Great British Bake Off kept me turning the pages all night. I was so glad when Heather sent it to me. I'm pretty sure she also has it on her TBR, so maybe we'll buddy read it or something. That'd be fun. And then 2 of my most recent Fairy Loot YA book only subscription books came in. As always, I must show you the edges. Come on, little camera. There we go. Like, those are so cool. This one is The Temptation of Magic, which I have straight up never heard anyone talk about. It says, he was an imperial, her greatest threat and greatest fascination, everything she'd been warned against, and yet she wanted him still. So, that's what we've got, folks. but also the inside is giving me dark academia, hardcore. Like, I'm sorry. Let's hold up. I can do this. Like, look at this. So I might look into this more, and this may definitely be on like my fall my finger is stuck. Dark academia, like fall TBR. This is one of their more plain ones, but it's all good. I love the marbled edges though. This one just came in the other day, and it's The Darkness Within Us, but look at this. I love these edges because they like continue. Look, it like continues around the back. I, again, don't know anything about this. Is this a sequel? I genuinely feel like this is the Shadows Between Us sequel. Is it not? Am I crazy? But also, it's giving Regency. Guys, am I crazy? Ooh, under the cover is really pretty. I'm about to Google this because I feel like this has to be, it's the authors of The Shadows Between Us. And I thought that that was The Darkness Within Us. I'm pretty sure this is a sequel. It's a companion novel. Well, now I've got to read the other one. I've wanted to read The Shadows Between Us, but it's just funny that I guess because you could read it alone, that's why they did that, but I would want to read the first one. Okay, so that is it for all of those. You guys, every time I say that is it, you probably think I'm done. But now we have the pile of books I've just bought for myself, just cause. And it's more than normal. I will admit that. First up, you guys know I read The Renegades recently. So I got Arch Enemies and Supernova because they were so cheap online compared to anywhere else I went to find them. Like, I went to Second and Charles because that was where I got the first one used for like $6. And I literally, they only had signed hardcovers that were $30. And then my Barnes didn't carry these, and neither did my local bookstore. So I ordered them online. So this is book 2 and 3 in the Renegade series. I recently picked up Tress of the Emerald Sea because when I finish Hero of Ages, which is the third Mistborn book, I think this is the one I'm going to do next. But I may read Warbreaker and then this, although this one everyone says gives really good summary vibes, and Brandon Sanderson, I think he suggests reading it after you read Warbreaker, so I don't know, but I really wanted a copy of this, and so easy pickup. Let's see here. This was part of my Blackwells order. You guys saw the other books I got from the UK. I ordered this because I did not know it was coming to the US, and let me tell you, I'm glad I ordered it when I did because it was so much cheaper on Blackwells than it's been in Barnes & Noble. So, but I really want to read this really bad. I started it and then I got distracted or something happened. I started filming a vlog and I didn't finish it. And I mean, I'm only like probably 50 pages in, but I just want to restart and read it because I really liked it. I was very interested in this. And I feel like this cover is way more of an indicator of like the vibe of the book. If you can't tell, I feel very strongly that the cover should, hello, there was a fly. I feel like if the cover doesn't do a good job of selling the book, like I'm not saying judge a book by its cover, but if your book cover isn't giving off the vibe of your book, I just feel like there's a disconnect because, look, I'll put this cover up. This cover, to me, is screaming, like, STEM romance. It's making me think Allie Hazelwood books. And this is lit fic. It's not a STEM romance at all. I don't even think there might be spice in it. I don't know. But it's not giving, like, spice in every other chapter. I also got Ready or Not because everyone was talking about this in the spring. I'm gonna try to read it, but I don't know. Some people I trust didn't really like it, so I may start it and see how I feel, but it may end up being a DNF for me. I am unsure. It has the pregnancy trope, I think, is how the book, like, she's pregnant the whole book, and that does not bother me at all, but some people, I cannot remember what someone said, the sick brain, it's getting to me, but it made me be like, I don't know if that book's for me. Oh, I got the sequel to A Dawn of Onyx, A Promise of Peridot. This little gemstone fantasy series is really fun to me, so I'm just having a good time with these. These also to me are like very good summer fantasy books because they're light. Well, the first one is. I don't know about this one, but also the covers are just... Okay, another one that I got from the UK from Blackwells is Elsewhere. I've read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and then A Storied Life of AJ Fikry, and so this has like the biggest font ever and is only 200 something pages. I got this one. It's, I think, about like afterlife concepts, kind of like the Midnight Library, where you're in like this like in-between place. This is the last Taylor Jenkins Reid book I have on her list for me to read that I don't own, because there's one on the cart, One True Loves. I haven't read One True Loves or Forever Interrupted, and that is it. I'll have read, I think, all of her books, which is crazy. But I love her writing. Although I read After I Do, and I think maybe I shouldn't have read that when my husband was gone for 2 months, because I hated that book. And I don't know if it's because I just wanted to hug my husband and they were like having this stupid fight and I was like, you are dumb. I don't know if that's why, but I didn't like it, and that was a really controversial opinion on my Goodreads. But this is Forever Interrupted. I tend to not know what's going on in these. Oh, this is on New Year's. Oh no, okay, this sounds terribly sad. This is not for right now. Her husband is in a car accident. Right off the rip, it sounds like. Okay, the other day I was dropping off some books because I was doing some unhauling, and I picked up a few while I was in Second and Charles. This was one of them, The Martian by Andy Weir. Also, like, again, the cover's so cool. I really want to get Project Hail Mary. I don't know if I necessarily want to read this one first, but I might. But I'm just so curious. A mission to Mars, a freak accident, one man struggled to survive. It's kind of making me think of like Interstellar and any other sci-fi book ever, but my husband's favorite movie is Interstellar. I've seen it many, many times. He loves space. I also love space. I know everyone loves Andy Weir, and I have not read either of those popular books. I don't know if he has other ones, but I really want to read this one, and I got it for $6. This was another one I found at Second and Charles, Warrior of the Wild. Someone I know was talking about it, and it made me really want to read it, but it also was $6. And it says, how do you kill God? As her father's chosen heir, 18-year-old Rosmira has trained her whole life to become a warrior and lead her village, but when her coming-of-age trial is sabotaged and she fails the test, her father banishes her to the monster-filled wilderness with an impossible quest. To win back her honor, she must kill the oppressive god who claims tribute from the villages each year or die trying. This is the same author as Daughter of the Pirate King. I think I saw someone talk about this on TikTok that I'm friends with. I don't remember, whatever it was, I was like, oh, I kind of want to read that. Before it got traditionally published, I did snag a copy of When the Moon Hatched, which is now this like tiny chunk of a book, like so thick. I am like 65% of the way through this. I fear I'm going to have to reread the entire beginning, but I need to just finish this book and just not be done with it. But I don't remember why I stopped reading it. And now that I've stopped and it's been a while, like I don't know why I don't just go back and finish it, Sarabeth, please. If you don't know what that book is about, holy cow, you must be new to the book community online. Welcome if you are, but it's about dragons. The thing I think is the coolest is that the dragons, when they die, they go curl up in the sky and they become moons. But I was at the point where everybody says it gets so interesting, and I was like, why did I put it down when it was about to be like peak interesting book? I don't know. I only have 2 more. I guess I'm crazy. I bought Binding 13. I don't know why. I do not know when I am ever going to read this. Holy cow, it's floppy. I don't know when I'm going to read this because I feel as though this is something I will need to be in the very specific mood for. And I know these are gut-wrenching. Again, I don't know why I bought this when I did. Like, maybe I was sad and I said I need to buy a book. This one, A Feather So Black, I think it's A Little Life of Books. Let me check. I don't want to get her username wrong. Little Life of Books, Elizabeth. She was hyping this up so much on her Instagram story, and I feel like I love everything that she reads, and so I thought this sounded really fun. I am really excited about this. It says, in a kingdom where magic has been lost, Fia is a rare changeling left behind by the wicked fair folk when they stole the High Queen's daughter, Iala, and retreated behind the locked gates of the folk realm. Rather than leave Fia an outcast, the queen takes her in and trains her to be a spy. There's been a ton of people hyping this up that I've seen that I trust the book opinion of, so I'm really excited for that one. Okay, that is it for all the books that I'm going to have talked about. So now this time I'm going to make a better job of keeping track of all the ones that get sent to me and that I purchase, so that next time I don't have to scour my shelves and try to remember everything. But hopefully in our new house, I will have a better setup and organization system for my books. Fingers crossed. Well, that is it. Sorry again for my barren bookcase. That's just how we're gonna be for now. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Open my eyes, I slept through the day, feeling uneasy, I push it away. Last night was fun, don't feel like today. Let's do